Does ideas really pay the bills? That is a question we need to think of. Because data shows that business is built around real problem solving last than the business that just came up with an idea that is trending, or an idea that I like, or an idea that I see people making money on. So I ask you, my audience, which idea do you have? The clear example of that is the story of Nokia. I read about their story. The management said, we've done everything right, but we don't know what really happens. So also is the story of Kodak. They did everything right, but somewhere along the way, because the problem evolves and the solution also evolves, but they refuse to pivot when things are changing.
Welcome to True Lessons in Motion podcasts, a space for entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, and dream chasers.
Does ideas really pay the bills? That is a question we need to think of. Because data shows that business is built around real problem solving last than the business that just came up with an idea that is trending, or an idea that I like, or an idea that I see people making money on. So I ask you, my audience, which idea do you have? Is it a real problem solving idea that people are willing to pay for? If that sounds like what you're interested in, hit the subscribe button, share this, and like it so that more people can get to know about this. I'm your host, Michael ABANYE. This month, we're looking at why most business ideas fail and how to avoid it. That sounds interesting. I'm excited about this topic. Let's go deep. And we're looking at the ACT framework, which is A stands for avoid, C stands for correct, T stands for transition, and X stands for sustain. And that is the MEI framework we're looking at in this month of January. Now, let's get down to business. A strong business idea usually starts at the intersection of three things. Number one is a real problem. Number two is problem people already spending money to solve. And number three is solution you can package and deliver consistently. So before you think of that idea, you need to ask yourself, what problem can my idea really solve? Can I transit or transform that particular idea to a problem solving that people are willing to pay for? Are people already spending money in that direction? Is it a solution I can package better than the one already existing? That is an idea you need to really give deep thought to. And the other part we're looking at is the transition, which is stop trying to build a perfect business. I once heard about Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook. He said people know about Facebook today, but there are several businesses he has started that has failed. But just Facebook has changed the trajectory for him. There are some businesses that may not last the test of time, where there are some that will scale and last the test of time. You don't need to give up. All ideas are important, but you just need to test it to see how viable it is. Are people willing to pay for this idea? Can I convert this idea to a problem that people are genuinely interested to pay for? Because that is what an idea really is. An idea that people are not paying for, or people cannot pay for, is just a wish. It's not an idea. So you need to really consider this as we move on in this series of why most business ideas fail and how to avoid it. Now let's get down to the expert, which is build the habit of problem observation. Money hides in problem. The more you see people all over, that is where the money is. Someone sat down to look at the solar situation. No power in Africa. And the person came up with an idea of solar energy. Just imagine the millions and the billions in that industry. Now someone sat down to also look at. There was a time we all were thinking of how can we communicate. Can you remember that time? We'll go into the 9 post office. For those of you in Africa, precisely here in Nigeria, to go and stand on the queue just to make a call, mostly international call. But today, your call, just right at your fingertip, you can reach anywhere all over the world. Someone sat down to look at it. How can I solve the problem that people really want to look good? And we have all the Tara Durotois, the owner of house of charity. So you need to sit down and ask yourself, what are people willing to pay for? What are people really, really interested in solving? That is where the problem is. You need to what? Keep an idea journal. Any ideas that come into your head, just take it down. Some ideas are for now, some are for later. Review what people really, really complain about. But there are always issues. There are always problems that people do have. Problem evolve, so is the solution. So you need to be agile and be alert to solving problems. Because as we move on, people taste change. So is trend, so is people also. So you also need to evolve. The clear example of that is the story of Nokia. I read about their story. The management said, we've done everything right, but we don't know what really happens. So also is the story of Kodak. They did everything right, but somewhere along the way, because the problem evolves and the solution also evolves, but they refuse to pivot when things are changing. So that is what we should begin to look at. This is an interesting series. Why most business ideas fail? You can't afford to miss this. Stay with us. The next episode shall be quite interesting. Never you forget, no one lives long enough to make all the mistakes. We learn from those ahead. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.